I'm here with James Tinkler, who is the International Leisure Sales Manager for NeilPryde Sailing. Now, James, this is an interesting time. How have things been at the business?
Very interesting. Obviously, it's having a big effect on the business in the many different sectors we work in. We're known for NeilPryde Sailing. We're also known for Typhoon International. We are the same business. And the Typhoon section of the business is an actual factory up in Redcar. It produces commercial products as well as military and special forces products, as well as some of our leisure products as well. The commercial and especially the military products at this sort of present moment, it's very busy. The factory is stacked out, and it's long waiting list for product. As you imagine, the military products at this time of year, or in this situation, are in very, very high demand. From a sort of more commercial leisure perspective, which is where I'm primarily involved, then yes, it's slowing down. I look after a lot of the overseas markets. Some of them have stopped. So our poor friends over in Italy and Spain, where they're on a very strict lockdown, then the business has very, very much slowed down to just a little bit of online business. But then in other regions, it's different, where the lockdown isn't quite so strict, and the online business is still working quite well. We are open, and we're still serving our customers, servicing them on a regular basis, either online directly with NeilPryde Sailing, or through our dealer network. So, as I say, in actual fact, our MD, our group MD, Andrew Richards, he actually did a presentation on Facebook this last week for both Typhoon and for NeilPryde Sailing, just updating everybody on exactly what's happening and where we are up to during the pandemic.
It's been great to see that kind of communication within the whole of your group, where you've been able to keep your customers updated, and also to hear that while at the moment the leisure market, of course, isn't going to be at the same levels as what you usually have, having that the other areas of your business, and particularly in the sectors that you're involved in with the military and commercial, just having that so that you can keep that flow going to those essential services is great.
Yeah, we're also, it's not just Typhoon and NeilPryde Sailing, we're also in the UK, international safety products, ocean safety, and then overseas the broader Alliance group, with companies such as Plastimo, Acastia's Diffusion, VDM Rea in France, FNI in Italy, Booker Bremen in Germany. The list goes on and on. It's a much bigger group than just us, basically.
So a huge group behind you. Now, moving across to the NeilPryde Sailing range, we had the RWA Dinghy show, where of course you had the latest team riders. But what are the popular ranges of clothing that we're currently selling when things were good?
Well, there's two main ranges within the NeilPryde range that we're selling at the moment, which is the Elite and then the Raceline ranges. But not to forget that we're also Typhoon International. So within that, there's dry suits or wetsuits of varying different levels for different types of water sports as well.
Brilliant. And why do you think these ranges are the most popular?
The Elite and the Raceline ranges are popular for mainly because they're technically advanced products. It's a modular layering system, and you can mix and match sort of different parts of the Elite range and parts of the Raceline range together. The different products, they help you choose what you want to wear for the occasion. So whether it's the weather or the climate, the country you're sailing in, because it's a global range, or the different type of boats you're sailing, a different role you're playing on board the boat, and then Raceline's a different budget level as well, so it's a price level below the Elite products. So you choose what you want to use at the armory, basically.
And it really is noticeable now. Club sailors are sailing whatever the weather the entire time through the winter. And again, when I talked to the team riders at the RYA Dinghy Show, the one word that every single one of them said was warm. And what has changed to make it so that clothing just means that even during those dark winter days, you're staying warm on the water?
Yeah, it's not just the top sailors these days that get access to this sort of kit. Your general club sailor is, and that means that you go to a little lake in the Midlands somewhere during November when it's dark and cold and horrible, and they're comfortable out in the water. I mean, technology's moved on. Your kit's getting better, and it's more comfortable, so it's more endurable. You're getting better protection for the colder weathers, and I suppose one of the really big things is that the pricing has come down, especially in real terms, which is, and also it's now far more widely available. People know that you can just go online and buy stuff, or go to your local chandlers, and the chances are they're going to have some good level kit there.
That's the thing. People are now able to get some seriously good kit for a decent price. And what are the technologies that have been introduced which have advanced the products in this way?
Well, I mean, two things really. It's the actual construction methods of putting the gear together, and actually also the fabrics and the zips that are used on these products, and then actually all these various innovations and coatings and technologies. People having the foresight to actually bring these technologies, because not all of it comes from the same industry. It can be brought in from different parts of the sports and apparel industries.
So you've managed to combine in really best practice throughout technical clothing all around, and then just bring it into your sailing gear.
Yeah, absolutely. There's technologies used in, for example, if we start off with say our dry suits for cold weather, then the fabrics have become lighter, they're more breathable. The way we're actually constructing these garments, we take a lot from different things that we do, obviously, in our different sectors, but also the fit is more ergonomic, which means it's more body shaped as opposed to being like a cardboard cutout, which makes product feel more comfortable. It makes it feel a lot lighter as well. It's easy to get in and out of them. We've moved zips around, we've changed the shape of zips, things that the zip suppliers have been able to offer us that we can then incorporate into our suits. Getting in and out of a dry suit or a wetsuit being able to do that easily makes a huge difference when you're trying to decide which one to buy inside a shop. And things like the seals, so your neoprene seals around your neck, around your wrists, are much better and much drier than they used to be, because neoprene is getting better. So you don't have to have those horrible latex wrist seals and neck seals where you have to cut the rings around them to make them fit better so you don't go blue in the face whilst you're trying to sail.
It does make a huge difference when you're out on the water and you're in kit that's actually comfortable. And one of the big areas in sailing that has changed a lot in the last 20 years, I would say, is it has become a far more athletic sport. And so the freedom of movement when you're out on the water is now absolutely key. And are your fabrics now more stretchy, or is it a combination of the fabrics and the cut that makes the difference there?
Definitely a combination of all of it. On the neoprene product especially is where you'll feel that sort of benefit. Now the fit of our neoprene products is all 3D body mapped these days, which again gives you this nice ergonomic fit, so you don't get excess fabric bunching and restricting movement. The actual fabric we use, and the neoprene we use, is matrix neoprene, which is it has like a very small domed air pockets inside the actual fabric itself, very, very small. Makes it lighter weight. It makes it far more flexible, again, which improves the comfort. It makes it more stretchy as well, again improving the comfort, and it makes it warmer. And then the linings that go on to this neoprene inner, basically, they make the product more stretchy, more comfortable to wear against the skin. Our firewire lining keeps you warmer, reflecting the heat back into you. Our max dry inner face fabrics gives you a warmer, dry feel against your skin. And one really big benefit if you're at an event is the fact that it's generally not just one day. So you then got to get into your cold, wet, salty wetsuit the next day. Well, having a max dry inner face fabric on it makes a huge difference to the next morning because it feels dry and comfortable, and you don't mind getting in it. I suppose the thing as well is we're talking about cold weather all the time. We also have neoprenes for warmer weather, so obviously it gives you the sun protection. But our elite 1mm products, they are max vent neoprene, which is, if you can imagine, lots of tiny little holes, allows the air moisture, it allows the body and the product to actually breathe, which keeps you a bit drier, more comfortable. It allows the heat to pass through the actual fabric more easily as well. And then obviously rash vests with factor 50 ultraviolet protection and iron technology to stop them going a bit smelly. That all helps.
Now, kids sailing and participation in that age group is one of my absolute passions, and I just love to see kids out in the water, enjoying themselves, and secondly, just improving and wanting to spend more time on the water. Back in the day, sailing kit for kids was probably one of the main reasons that kids were put off sailing. And what do you have now in the kids and the youth ranges for your sailing kit that just makes it more comfy for them?
Yeah, I can certainly sympathise with you on that. I remember getting my neck rubbed by horrible, ill-fitting wetsuits that were really, really stiff, and just trying all sorts of things. Just when you're sat in your uppy and it's just chafing away, you think, oh, horrible. Well, that was a long time ago, though. Things have certainly come on a bit. In our current range, our elite products, so our elite 1mm max vents, tops and long johns, our 3mm elite firewire long johns and tops, our elite 3D curve dry suits, our elite buoyancy aids, they are all, there's junior versions and junior sizes of the product. The product itself is exactly the same, it's just smaller and child shaped rather than my shape, or adult shaped product. So they can get the best possible kit, exactly the same as the adults can, which traditionally it's always been dad had the best kit and the kids had the stuff that rubbed your neck. Well, now it's the kids can have exactly the same as dad, basically.
So there's no change in the materials, it's just the cut for the kids, which makes it so that they've got access to exactly the same technologies, and hopefully will mean they can enjoy a longer time out on the water in comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly the same. Same linings, same neoprene, just children's sizes.
Out when we're dinghy sailing, especially, the different roles, and you alluded to them earlier on when we were chatting. You've got someone who may be helming an Enterprise, yet then a 29er crew. They are very, very different roles. And are there different parts of your range which really suit those roles in different ways?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the difference between a hiking boat and a trapezing boat, and you might have it might be a single trapeze, so you might have a helm that's hiking and a crew that's trapezing, like in your 470s and 420s and 29ers, and then boats with spinnakers. People might even wear different gloves for that. So, for example, obviously there's long finger and short finger gloves of different types of grip on them within the range. We have hiking pad shorts, we have boots that are specifically designed for either trapezing, like little skiff shoes, or our new elite light boots. And we also have hiking boots, so we also have a new elite lacing hike boot and an elite zip hiking boot. Boots that have more reinforcement, I suppose, for the front of the feet against the straps. On the new lace hike boot, there's the rubber stopper that you wrap your ankle strap around, which takes some of the load off the front of your legs as you're hiking out for a long time. With our harnesses, we've got different types of harnesses. So we've got your traditional sort of nappy style harness we call our hybrid. And then you've got the seat harness, which is very similar to like a windsurfing seat harness that you might have seen from the other section of NeilPryde, but obviously with the adjustable back supports, shoulder straps built in with that. We've also got products for such as we have the NeilPryde free ride helmets as well, for the growing trend in the high performance boats, just in case you get it badly wrong and end up finding the masthead and flying forwards at a great rates of knots.
Now, with the NeilPryde Sailing team riders who I met at the RYA Dinghy Show, it was clear that you had them from a diverse range of classes. Do they feed back their ideas to you? And based on those, what trends are you predicting for the future when it comes to technical clothing afloat?
Well, we get feedback from the team riders, and the guys you saw at the Dinghy Show are just the UK based ones. We also have there's a lot of overseas team riders as well, which we don't tend to see at the Dinghy Show as well. They give us feedback each season on the products, what they like, what they don't like, what they think could be the next best thing to do. But we also look at sailing trends. We follow things in the press, on social media all the time. Obviously, everybody's talking about foiling these days, especially now. It's not just catamarans, there's more monohulls getting involved. Monohulls are getting bigger involved, as in the America's Cup. Obviously, this could carry on a trend. So the dinghies will carry on. It'll be more accessible. People will be travelling faster. And bigger dinghies or sports keelboats may also end up going in that direction. You just have to try and guess what the next step's going to be, see what people are doing, see what boats are developing when you go around the boat shows and talk to your friends and colleagues in the manufacturing. This means that obviously impact protection is going to be increasing, and more improved safety features. If you're going to be traveling faster, that's the sort of thing you're going to need. But there's also the environmental and the green element as well. That's growing with momentum all the time, and we have to keep an eye on that. I know that we're also looking now at changing some of our range to use more environmentally friendly techniques, glues, fabrics, neoprenes. The range will develop. It has to keep on developing anyway. If you stand still, then you get left behind. So
really keeping your pulse on feedback from sailors, what you see happening around the marine industry, in the sailing in general, and just constantly evolving your product, it sounds like. But it isn't just technical kit that NeilPryde Sailing produce. You also do covers and bags.
Yeah, there's a range of laser and oppie, so involving the kids again, products. So we produce some really good, high quality, breathable boat covers, top and bottom covers, obviously. There's padded foil bags, there's mass bags. We produce hiking straps for these as well, and we also have a couple of great kit bags, wheel bags, for going to the various events, taking a holiday with you as well. We're currently looking at widening the range for boats, looking at different covers for different dinghy ranges. It may have been slowed down a little bit with the current situation because we're still trying things on people's boats and making sure we're getting the fit of the covers right, but it's in the pipeline.
Well, of course, at the moment, new development, when you actually have to go to a boat or things like that, it's going to be cut short.
Yeah.
But overall, it sounds like when we can get back out on the water, and I know we're all raring to do it already, the NeilPryde Sailing range is probably one of the first places people should look to make sure that they get the maximum enjoyment out on the water. So James, many thanks indeed for your time today. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you in person when we can get out and about again.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you.
Take care.
Cheers.